We recently covered the impressive ancient dwellings known as dolmens, which can be found littering most of the European countryside. Enormous ancient structures, which we feel were left by a surviving, less capable branch of an earlier civilization, still possessing advanced knowledge, allowing them to build with such stones. Surviving remnants of the group, we also believe, were responsible for the masterfully constructed ancient ruins which can be found upon the same continents. Additionally, this era within human history was the inspiration for an animated TV show, namely the Flintstones. Curiously, the Flintstones, dubbed the Modern Stone Age family, could easily be mistaken for a lost advanced civilization. Did the makers of the Flintstones know something we are currently unraveling regarding the builders of the Flintstones' homes, namely the dolmens? Or is it all a mere coincidence? Some of these dolmens still possess as yet unexplained evidence which flies in the face of academics worldwide. Sites such as the Dolmen of Menga, found near Malaga in Spain. This massive dolmen, one of the largest megalithic sites in Europe, is a prime example of the unexplained features which defy current explanation. The dolmen is 902 feet long, 20 feet wide, and 115 feet in height. It was built with 32 megaliths, the largest of which weighing over 200 tons. Nearby is another impressive dolmen, known as De Vera, discovered between 1903 and 1905 by brothers Antonio and Jose Vera of Antequera. This site also possesses some of the most impressive megaliths to be found in any dolmens anywhere in Europe. Who built these incredible structures? How did they build them? La Roche-à-Feu, in the French department of Ille-et-Vilaine in the Brittany region, was named after a legend claiming that the stones were brought by fairies, this clearly inspired by their inexplicable nature. A name of fairy rock was given to many French dolmens or covered walkways. Regardless of whether our own theory is correct, the still surviving features of many of these ancient dolmens is clearly in direct contradiction with attested theory. Further alternative study is desperately needed of structures we find highly compelling. There are countless astonishing relics still to be unearthed in Peru, rediscovered within the modern age. Like that of Machu Picchu, long forgotten, engulfed by nature, still hidden within our past. With those which are rediscovered, simply dismissed en masse by cult-like actions of many of our modern institutions, most of which at a loss to explain the advanced nature of many of these relics, simply labeling said sites as pre-Incan. Peru is home to some of the most exquisite polygonal stonework to be found anywhere on the planet. Additionally, some of this inexplicable stoneworking incorporated some of the most enormous of stones into their construction. Furthermore, the Inca Road, a ruin we have previously covered, long ignored and rarely discussed, it is the largest man-made structure ever found, dwarfing the Great Wall of China, stretching an astounding 25,000 miles, once connecting many of the most inexplicable sites found within the country. It seems Peru was once a very important place, and possibly the capital of a civilization now lost long ago within history. Many of the unexplained ancient ruins we cover also express a near obsession with the movement of the planets amongst the stars, and a huge portion of these ruins are either celestially aimed or had some form of astronomical significance built into their design. And our next subject of interest is of no exception. Known as Chanquillo, we feel it is a demonstration of exceptional astronomical knowledge, abilities far out of the reach of its currently academically claimed constructor. Rivaling even that of Stonehenge, it is an ancient monumental complex located along the Peruvian coastal desert in a place known as the Casma-Sichin Basin within the Ancash department of Peru. Atop a hill, there are 13 towers regularly spaced, forming a toothed horizon. What is incredible about this undertaking, however, is that throughout the year, if one is positioned in the correct place, one can witness the sunrises between each of these ridges, with solstices also significantly highlighted by their builders. The question is, How did a people placed centuries ago within known history, and thus with a far more limited understanding of astronomical precisions, accomplish the building of such an enormous ruin, aligned with the sun with such accuracy? Just like that of the precision displayed in other ancient ruins, perfectly aligned to cardinal points, the Chanquillo is yet another example of an ancient civilization's workmanship, far more advanced and far more capable than that of the culture academia currently claims as the maker of said relic. From the east and west, investigators designated two possible observation points. From these vantages, the 300-meter-long spread of the towers corresponds to the rising and setting positions of the sun over the year. On the winter solstice, the sun would rise behind the leftmost tower of Chanquillo, and rise behind each of the towers until it reached the rightmost tower 6 months later on the summer solstice. Inhabitants of Chanquillo would have been able to determine the date with an accuracy within a day or two, simply by observing the sunrise or sunset from these correct observational points. The 13 towers have been interpreted as an astronomical observatory, built in the 4th century BC. However, we believe, with such incredible abilities and knowledge of the precessional positions required to have constructed these towers, they are far out of the reach of our own well-studied, currently claimed ancient ancestors. Claimed as that of the Casma-Sechan culture, we however disagree with this posit, simply on the grounds of its astonishing nature and the capabilities of its past constructor. It is a place which we find highly compelling. We cover many structures on our channel, which often contain features and characteristics that the academically claimed constructors were simply incapable of achieving. Enormous megalithic blocks, some weighing far into thousands of tons, yet there also exists many other ancient structures with equally baffling features, such as extremely refined stone-cut architecture, seemingly only capable of achieving with advanced technology, or enigmatic buildings with as yet unexplained ages and origins. One such structure is known as the Maiden's Tower, the oldest structure within the city of Baku in Iran. Many legends surround the origins of this structure, with vastly varying claims to its age. Some believe it is a mere 800 years old, while others attest to it being far more than 2,000. Many supposed specialists have examined the structure, yet, interestingly, they all seem to come to different conclusions regarding its original purpose. Some say that it was a lighthouse, some say it was a fortress or a burial chamber. Yet the most interesting explanations of its origins are found within the legends found within the local community. It is said that an ancient king once fell in love with his own daughter and built the tower due to his strange, incestuous devotion for her. He promised his daughter that if she were to marry him, he would give or build her anything if she were to agree. So she requested he build the tower. She supposedly visited the build regularly and consistently gave advice and her opinion on how she wanted the construction completed. Once it was built, it was the most reinforced, strongest building in all the land. Yet instead of keeping her promise, she climbed to the top of the building and threw herself into the sea, presumably to escape the proposition given to her by her father. Yet, regardless of legends, the mystery as to the true origins of the tower, or indeed its age, remains a complete mystery. I feel that upon close examination of the structure, it has been masterfully reinforced and renovated at numerous times within its long life, with the original stonework being of a tiny scale, yet much of the structure has been reinforced and built upon, most likely for several different strategical reasons throughout the millennia. It is indeed possible that the original structure is many thousands of years old, yet due to the reconstruction seen upon it by numerous groups using numerous techniques, it has predictably resulted in the many specialists who have examined it coming to different conclusions as to its original purpose. Interestingly, academic geologists have argued that it was constructed during the 9th and 15th century. This was due to the receding of the Caspian Sea, making it possible for the town to grow around it. Yet could the legends of the king's daughter plunging into the sea be true, with the tower originally having been built upon the shores of the sea? It seems we may never know. However, there are many other towers which dot the earth with origins that are equally enigmatic. Some in particular are found deep within the Himalayas. Known as star towers, and for obvious reasons, not only is their construction a baffling ancient feat due to their geographical locations, but the original purpose of these towers is a complete mystery, escaping explanation, baffling of all who have ventured to them to study their build and characteristics in depth. Mostly located in Kham, Qingtang, and Kangpo, which are provinces of pre-modern Tibet. They were first described during the Ming Dynasty, around 1368. With carbon dating by Frederic d'Aragon apparently showing they were built approximately 500 to 1800 years ago. Yet these datings are so vast and vague, I postulate that they too may have experienced several conservation efforts and have been reconstructed or reinforced on several occasions throughout the eons, actually being relics of a lost civilization whose original purpose has become lost, just like the civilizations who use them. Who built these mysterious structures? Why did they build them? Are they, as I suspect, far older than academia would ever admit to them being? In reality, being consistently regenerated relics of a lost civilization that throughout their lives have fortunately been reinforced and renovated throughout antiquity? We find such structures, their unknown age, and indeed their mysterious origins, highly compelling.